So we are live on Facebook. May I request you to please switch on your camera?
Okay. Tumbi, camera on tawro. Mai singan da bra.
इतने इजी वर्ड्स भी नहीं आ रहे अब माँ में छोटी ई मी ला और ना में आके मात्र ना
Hello everyone, welcome on Digital Parliament. Today we have with us a very special guest from the northeast part of our country, which is one of the most beautiful parts and still unexplored. And we have the Member of Parliament from there, from Inner Manipur, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan with us. Welcome, sir, on Digital Parliament.
Thank you. Tawzala.
So you come from Inner Manipur, and we all are very excited to have you today. We would like to know more about your constituency and the challenges and your journey in person.
Yeah. It's a very interesting event in my life. I started as a research scholar and then social activist, particularly in the environment and people science movement all over India. I joined it. Then ultimately, I was in the university as a faculty member, and then to the Registrar Manipur University. And then after my superannuation, again, university asked me to join as a senior visiting fellow in the department. Then by that time, I was influenced by some of my senior colleagues and the most respected the scientists of the India. Perhaps you know the Professor Yoswal, the then chairman of the University Grants Commission. He always influenced me in the concept of socialist realism, and also inspire me to have some kind of political activity, not in the party and others. So during the course of the social movement and particularly environment movement in the Northeastern India, and we are always shouting against the establishment, but it doesn't come any effect and positive result. Then ultimately I switch on to join the politics and using the platform so that I may have some chance to fulfill some of our the people's desire and to protect our environment.
So, what was the turning point for you to join politics?
Yeah, in fact, I just mentioned eminent scientist and academician Professor Yoswal, who was the chairman of the University Grants Commission and a national professor. I was under him for the Bharat Jana Vigyan Jatha, All India People Science Movement, and also the literacy movement. So he sometimes influenced me to be in the power so that we can achieve the national ethos and also the secularism in India. That's why I just turn it. After my retirement, of course, there are national leader from the Bharatiya Janata Party, like the Tapir Gao from the Arunachal Pradesh and Arun Jaitley ji one time. And there are many other central leaders who influenced me to join this party.
So you come from a very humble background. And politics is a very difficult path. So, what were the hard choices you've made in your political tenure?
But at the moment, there may be some internal conflict inside the state, but still then, uh, since one of the biggest and most powerful political party in the world our Bharatiya Janata Party, I think I don't have much difficulties to express the desire of the people and to protect the sentiments of the people and also to assist the development, the scenario in the state. So I have no such particular difficulties after joining the politics.
What are your thoughts on Citizenship Amendment Bill? Because there were some challenges. So, what are your thoughts on that for the state of Manipur?
Actually, during those days in the parliament, I was sitting and also supporting the Citizenship Amendment Bill. In the meantime, we have a certain kind of the difficulties in the state, particularly in the Manipur. It is the just neighboring to the Myanmar and some other transboundary tribes. They always infiltrate to our side, and also sometimes from the Bangladesh. Also, they are entering. So under such circumstances, our common peoples pressure me how to protect the some kind of illegal migrant to our state. It's a small, tiny states, and all 90% is hilly terrains. Only a few portion, at hardly 8 or 9% of the total area is a valley. So in that particular situation, our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Biren Singh Ji, he also asked me, and at the same time, he also requested the central leader to have certain kind of clause so that the special protection to the state of Manipur. Then, of course, luckily, we got the inner line permit system, whether it may be temporary or permanent, but still then, after passing the CAB, we doesn't have much suspicion on that, and I hope that we may be able to protect for the time being by implementing an ordinance of the inner line permit in the state of Manipur.
The Northeast India is a very sensitive region.
Mm.
What are the causes that you're fighting for and are worth fighting for locally?
Actually, perhaps all of us well aware that Northeast India is a very typical landscape regions. And that's why in different landscape zone, we have more than 250 ethnic communities. And over and above, we may be proud of that. We have about indigenous knowledge system of more than 250, and also dialects and different dialects of 250. If we see a single dominant community, perhaps there may be a lot of crisis. But if you look, all these 250 ethnic communities and their ethnic identities looking in a common platform and sharing some of the common difficulties and common reasons, then there may not be any kind of serious issues. Perhaps for the many years before, the BJP, the lead government in the center, the northeastern India was left as a landlocked area. And that's why that maximum issues were created during those days. But now after our government, and we use that landlocked as a land link to the Southeast Asia. And that's why our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, is taking up the Act East policy. So through that, the periphery zone of the Northeastern India now become the central focal point of the Southeast Asian connectivity. So I hope most of our Northeastern India's ethnic communities, they realize and they try to participate in this, the new system of governance, and also trying to have the opportunity for participation to the Act East policy, expressing their local indigenous knowledge in the theme of what we call that Atma Nirbhar Bharat, that we are encouraging ourselves. So the sensitivity will be there if someone is looking at only one point. And if you look the commonality of the Northeast India, and there may not be such kind of these unwanted sensitive should not be there.
So, what are the sustainability and CSR activities that are being taken up in Northeast India in the PPP fashion under your regime?
Uh, During a long time back, I feel that what's that, the corporate social responsibility, the fund, I have seen a positive approach, particularly of the Oil India, ONGC, particularly in the northern Assam, in Dribugar University. During my research career, I found that the ONGC has sponsored at least the studentship scholarship in the Dribugar University for studying of the applied geology. As and when they passed, they also placement was given by the ONGC. But that kind of social responsibility should also be extended, particularly in the state of Manipur. Also, we have NSPC. They have they profited from the Loktak hydroelectric project, but their shares, where they are using, we are not yet able to identify it. But now, uh, being an MP of the state of Manipur, uh, I becomes the chairman of the airport authority of Imphal station. So accordingly, we requested, and they have contributed during the COVID time. They have given the ambulances to the state hospitals, and also providing some public utility at different places. So these are some of the things, but we need more attention, particularly about the school buildings, and smart schools should be shared by, or it may be spent from that socially responsible the fund. But that we are still lagging behind. But I'm trying to push it to some other corporate body to help on this issue.
So, what is your vision for Northeast and Manipur per se, and what kind of political legacy would you like to leave behind?
Actually, the Bharatiya Janata Party is a typical party and also party of difference. We attracts those people who are willing to serve for the people, for the country. Then, with this medium of feelings, I I'm trying to make some kind of legacy to my younger generation. If you are willing to serve the country and to serve for the people, please come and join to our Bharatiya Janata Party. You know, the Bharatiya Janata Party is especially given to attraction to the youths. So many youths are voluntarily coming, even if there is no position in the party. And not only we are also trying to imbibe not only the electoral politics, but also the what you call the ethics of the society should also be inculcated through these political systems.
So, what political legacy would you like to leave behind?
This is our honorable Prime Minister has already made it सबके साथ, सबके विकास, and सबके विश्वास. That has the legacy to be created and to be promoted and to be implemented all throughout the country, particularly in the state of Manipur. We have, the hills and valley. There are gulfs of mistrust between hills and plain. So through this, the legacy, we are trying to breeze all the mistrust, and now we are progressing the advance. And this is the
Wonderful.
legacy of my political vision.
Excellent. The budget session is coming up. What would be your special requests for the Northeast?
See, quite a long periods of times during the other different political regimes, our Northeast India was lagging far behind, and particularly in Manipur, we are not able to get enough fund for the proper infrastructural development. And also, this is the area where topographically, terrainly, very difficult situations. So we discuss in our state, along with the Chief Minister of Manipur, there should be some kind of the budgeting should be based on the landscape, or the topography based budget should be there. Hills, particularly even in the Delhi, you know, to construct a building by a minimum cost, you may get the best quality of building. But in Manipur, and particularly in Northeastern India, a huge amount has sanctioned. Even then, we could not get the quality type of the buildings or infrastructure. So we need a special attention on this, the themes, and also particularly during this budget. Of course, our Honorable Prime Minister is already given some fund for the potable water to all the household. So in under such circumstances, even the road and even infrastructure or educational institution shall have to be given a special attention and a special sanction. So I hope during this budget, particularly we'll trust on health, education, and also what you call the Act East policy to be participated by the people of Manipur. So such some kind of special trust in the budget. I would like to participate in debate and also to get some more benefit on that.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, Digital Parliament is an online tool which is mostly used by the youngsters. I would like to ask you, you as a political leader and the times that we live in COVID-19
Mm-hmm.
and the times that will come post-pandemic, what kind of features would you like to see in a tool like these?
See, one is never too old to learn a new skill, and no skill ever goes wasted. When we are living in a situation of lockdown due to coronavirus, we all didn't stop our activities. Be in politician or business or student, we are all depend on online. And even online inauguration of all establishment were seen, and e-marketings are moving very fast. And after enabling us through online transaction, I think this will continue and this will help to the younger generation, not only the politician or businessman.
So for us on Digital Parliament, what kind of features would you like to see?
Yeah, this kind of the digital parliament, very frequently, if you could arrange a different part of the northeastern India and also the major portion of the western India or southern India and the northern India, then we may have a closeness through digital, and then the opinion can be shared, then openness and the frequent transaction of ideas may create a strong India in a quick digital form.
Thank you so much. So on this note, I would like to open it to our other panelists. I request Dr. Upadhyay.
Sure. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Very happy to meet you here.
Mhm.
Since you have been in academics
Mhm.
and then you came to politics,
Mhm.
nowadays we are, our Pradhan Mantri ji is talking very much about local for vocal.
Yeah.
I belong to Himachal Pradesh.
Right.
So what we are doing, we are trying to promote our local products
Mhm.
and provide a market for them.
Mhm.
Especially you might have seen all the central ministers now they wear that Himachal cap.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so what you are doing?
Like that Modi Gamsa is generated from our Manipur. You know Modi Gamsa.
Yes, yes. So I will like to know what you are doing for this whole concept which Pradhan Mantri ji has put forward to us, local for vocal, and how you are doing it.
Yeah, actually, we are trying very hard, and also we have a lot of scope particularly, perhaps you might have known that Northeast India and particularly Manipur is belong to one of the richest biodiversity, and that belongs to the mega biodiversity hotspots of Indo-Burma. We have the bioresources, as for example, Gingiberacea, about 80 species, and bamboo, we have about 66 species, like that cane, bamboo, ginger, and many medicinal herbs are there. And accordingly, we have about 200 rice cultivars of endemic in this region, and many species like your Sudo ginseng and Penak ginsengs are also available in our state. So based on this, under the under the sponsorship of the CSIR, and very recently, last fifth yesterday itself,
Okay.
I inaugurated some of the 5 days workshop with the food science technology of Mysore and agricultural products, food processing groups of the government of India, and we are training about 50 young entrepreneurs based on our resources. Say, for example, we have pineapple a lot, lime a lot, and oranges a lot. And we, even the Prime Minister Modi, 2014 election campaign, he clearly informed us and talked to the people also. Northeast India, particularly Manipur, is a landlocked area, so we are not dreaming for the heavy industry. We are expecting just like that of herbal-based industry, just like that of your
Okay.
Himachal Pradesh. And
Yes.
we are using your tea products also. Perhaps you know Manipur is one of the area where the tea is originated.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we have and that kind of herbal facilities. Now, many pineapples are rotten during this COVID. So we are hoping to have the typical type of trainings on food processing and preservation and conservation and value addition. And then over and above, we have the handloom and handicraft. And these are all local stuffs. Perhaps we are also having some kind of memorandum of understanding with the ethno-medicine groups to produce some kind of the medicine which can rejuvenate our the liver system and even the lungs, even the cancer, arthritis, and others. No, these are our locally available stuff. And from that, if we could make some kind of scientific intervention on it, and so that our local stuffs may be vocal and then maybe contribute to the nation as well as to the humanity. And this is our the prior attempt to promote on this as per our Honorable Prime Minister. He already suggested, and so we are trying to implement it.
Sir,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
since we are addressing youth,
Mm-hmm.
now since you are academician also, we talk a lot about social entrepreneurship.
Yeah, yeah.
And the future is that let the young people
Mm-hmm.
try to do something which is different.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see it in Northeast and how do you promote it?
Actually, Northeastern India is a volatile socially.
Okay.
This is in my opinion, humble opinion, I thought that our youths is a full of energy, but we are not able to engage in a proper way, and that's why how to engage the youth is one of the major issues for us. But now, because of the changing of the systems in the governance and the transparency and hopes are giving it with an assurance. So uh, most of the educational institutions are also linking online and also having all the library now in online. So the new establishments should not be suffer lack of the resource materials. So these are all the systems is coming up, particularly in the northeastern India, and the more exposure to the the advanced country as well as in the advanced the states of the India. Perhaps you know most of our talented youths are all migrated towards the
Yes.
South India, Western India, and the Northern India. So after having, so during the COVID, no, all they are evacuated from their job place and to the educational institution. When they're back to Manipur and Northeastern India, they realize that our the areas is lagging far behind, and it's the lackness of development is not to be promoted by other peoples from other states people. We ourselves should make ourselves and to make ourselves to be fit and to grow. So this kind of the turning point to the mind of the people is now growing up. So I think this is a good hope given by the COVID and pandemic.
Great, sir.
Yes.
May I request, thank you so much, Dr. Upadhyay, for the question. May I request Saurabh Acharya to please join in and ask his queries?
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. This is Saurav Acharya this side. I am a final year law student from KIT School of Law, Bhubaneswar. So my question to you is that, so what message do you want to give to the domestic population of India to come visit northeastern states and the state of Manipur to be specific? And what opportunities apart from tourism activities Manipur has to offer to the youth of the country?
I would like to give a main thrust to the sports and also, of course, tourism may be in the trekking site. We have a natural landscape and it is completely different and typical type among the country. You know, this area is the world heaviest rainfall and we have many rivers. So if someone want to study about the riverine ecology, it's the best area to study it. But of course, I'm saying also I am not able to do the study on this line. And we have different kind of natural laws. Since you are belongs to the legal system, so we have different kind of the indigenous system of the administration beliefs and customary laws. So if you studied these kind of typicalities, and so that if we could bring to the mainstream legal system, then there should not be any disparity among the tribes, among the castes. That will be a good area if you put studies on these social issues like that. And this is one. Sports is one. And of course, there are many things if you want to studies in the mountain ecology, or in the riverine system, as I have said, and also the cultural. We have about, in Manipur, about 54 ethnic communities. Altogether in Northeast India, we have about 250 ethnic communities. We have different types of culture and different types of food habits, then food systems that you can enjoy and learn it.
Right, sir. So adding to Dr. Upadhyay's concern, so my question to you is that many youths from Manipur work all around the globe and even in different states of India in search of better opportunities. So how can young people, NRA across the globe, join you in the work you do for the people of your state? And don't you think the digital platform like Digital Parliament will play an important role in connecting the youth with the leaders of their own state so that they can contribute to the growth of their hometown, staying all around the globe and the world?
Yeah, yeah, it's a good idea, and we have to approach in this digital parliament system. Of course, in 2014, when I just joined politics for the first time, my party's youth, the branch is there, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi
Yes, sir.
Parishad, and they organize students. Of course, this is not, that was not digital. In a small hall, we gathered together all the youths, and they in the program of meet your MP candidate. So they put a huge questions. Of course, whatever I have in my mind, and I express so freely, and they were also very happy. And that shows that if we have frequent what you call the dialogues with youths,
Interactions.
the discussion and attraction, and also exchange of idea, so that I may also be enriched from the new idea generated and promoted by the young youths, and so that I may motivate myself about the approach also, and so that the web length between the youths and the politician may also be averaged in a positive way. And that is a good approach. And perhaps I thank this organizer to provide this kind of digital platform for the parliamentary system. It's a good approach. And I think it should be continued so that we may link very frequently and we may able to exchange our ideas.
Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging words.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Saurabh, for the questions. May I request Sandeep Narwani to please join in with this set of questions?
Good morning, Rajkumar sir. It was a pleasure
Okay.
to hear you. So I'm a policy researcher, and I wanted to ask you, how do you go about doing your legislative research? I mean, as in there is no legislative research school in India or college in India. So how, when you have to draft legislations for the parliament, how do you go about that process?
Beg your pardon? Beg your pardon. Repeat, please.
So my question is regarding legislative research about drafting legislations. So when you have to draft a legislation which is very customized to Northeast India and very customized to your own constituency, how do you go about the research process and the drafting process for the same?
It's a very difficult, even then, being a research scholar in the past, before drafting any kind of legislations, we have to see the background and the resources available in the surrounding areas. And then the local situation has to be digest thoroughly. And then after that, we may have a certain kind of the legislations and drafting the legislation. And it has to be again, the, what you call, the public opinion, if there be any disagreement from the community or other community, so that this kind of things should be evolved.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for your question, Sandeep. Highly appreciated. Sir, any final message and words of wisdom to all of us, all our viewers over here?
I once again welcome all the participants to enrich me with different kinds of views, and sometimes, of course, the last question is very the systematic, and we have to involve a different kind of research. So my humble opinion is that let us have uh, 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 more such kind of digital parliament. And then I also request all the youths, whenever such kind of event is circulated, it should be the maximum youths. If we could join, then we may have better ideas and better India and strong India may be promoted very quickly. So I hope my message is that please join such kind of digital platform. And also the organizer, I would like to request to organize very frequently so that we may have the ample chance. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and joining us. Thank you, everyone, for
Okay. Thank
joining
you.
that session.
Thank you. Thank you.